Situationships usually involve a partner that's avoidant, and usually dismissive avoidant. They just won't commit to you. You're acting like you're officially boyfriend or girlfriend. You act like you're an official couple, but they just won't put the title on it. They just won't officially commit. And every time you push for that commitment, they come up with a different vague excuse as to why they don't want to put a title on it. Why are we just going to complicate things? Labels are restrictive. Why don't we just go with the flow and let it evolve naturally? Or I'm just not ready for a commitment right now. But it feels personal. It feels like you're not good enough for this person, that you're not good enough for them to commit to. And quite often, they committed to somebody else in the past. So why won't they commit to you? What was so special about that person that they won't commit to you? Well, reality is, in the mind of the avoidant, commitment equals abandonment. That is because this is a person that received consistent childhood emotional neglect. But they personalize that neglect, growing up to feel defective and unlovable, like there's something wrong with them. It's a wound of shame. That's why they put up these walls around their heart, because their fear, which largely lies in the subconscious, is if I let my partner in and I let them behind my wall, they're going to figure out that I'm defective. They're going to figure out that I'm not lovable, and they're going to reject and abandon me. But if I keep my walls up and I keep them at an emotional distance, they won't figure me out, and I won't be exposed as being not lovable. I won't be exposed as being not good enough. I'll be safe. So closeness feels unsafe to them, and they directly associate emotional closeness with abandonment. So how does commitment equal abandonment? Well, when you commit to somebody, it is implied that you have to be vulnerable with this person. It's implied that you have to let that person through your walls if you're committed to them. So, since you have to be emotionally available and vulnerable for the person that you're committed to, and vulnerability and availability equals abandonment, therefore commitment also equals abandonment too. It triggers all of the anxiety inside of them. And they start looking for ways that you're potentially incompatible, because if they find incompatibilities, it's proof that it's not going to work and they're going to get hurt. So they don't put the title on it to prevent themselves from having that wound of shame exposed, and to prevent themselves from getting rejected and abandoned, which is what they believe would inevitably happen when they have a consistent and loving partner. So why were they able to commit to somebody else in the past? Well, chances are that person was emotionally unavailable, either another dismissive avoidant or perhaps even someone who's a narcissist. The emotionally unavailable partner does not trigger these fears in the avoidant, because the avoidant is emotionally unavailable and their partner is also emotionally unavailable. There's no threat of emotional intimacy in that relationship. They both get to keep their walls up. It's superficial, it's surface level. It feels safe. Plus, the emotionally unavailable partner really isn't someone that's all that special to the avoidant. So they don't fear getting hurt and rejected and abandoned by somebody that they don't really have strong feelings for. But the emotionally available partner is a person that they view as too good for them. And it's inevitable that this partner is going to figure out that they're too good for the avoidant and reject them and abandon them. So they look to keep that person at a distance and struggle to commit to that person, while it's easy for them to commit to the unavailable partner. That's why a lot of avoidants, and especially dismissive avoidants, have a relationship history where they committed long-term to toxic partners, unavailable partners, but they push every loving, available partner away quite quickly. And that's because it is specifically healthy, loving relationship behaviors that trigger their fears, and they feel much more safe with an unavailable partner. But just because this is fueled by insecurities, and it's not because you're not good enough for them, that doesn't mean you have to accept it. If you want a committed relationship, if you're looking for that true emotional intimacy and that commitment, and they're not giving it to you, it's time to hold a boundary. Your boundaries are your limits of what you want, what you don't want, what you'll tolerate, what you won't tolerate, what you need, what you don't need, and what your expectations are. And you can simply say, hey, committed relationships, that's something that I need. I'm looking for a serious I'm looking for that level of emotional intimacy, a relationship that can absolutely grow and turn into something long-term. And if commitment is something that doesn't work for you, okay, that's up to you, but then this relationship doesn't work for me because a situationship is not something that I'm interested in. And yes, it could mean that you lose this person. It could mean that they walk away. But if they walk away because of this, they were never going to commit to you. They were never going to be the partner that you needed them to be because they were not concerned about showing up for you, meeting your boundaries, or meeting your expectations. This is a person that was solely focused on themselves, because a partner that is emotionally available will make effort and care into meeting the boundaries and expectations of the other person. So yes, you could lose them, but you'd be losing a one-sided situationship that isn't even what you're looking for to begin with. So it is from their insecurities, but it doesn't mean you have to accept it. You can have empathy for their issues, but you don't have to be obligated to be on the receiving end of their insecure behavior.